we've actually lost most of our people that are experienced, and we've got, of course, new people in, and I'm sure that they mean well. But as I go down there, there's a whole list of things, and I've talked to several people about it, and actually emailed, if it got through, about the list of things that I've noticed personally. And they don't have enough, of course, it's a hard place to work, and to work with the animals, the cages, the cleaning up, but there's things that you see, the cages unlocked, which is a liability for the public, standing water, maybe to cut down budget. They've cut down the antiseptic that they've used in cages. They've had trouble with sick animals and some that haven't made it. These are things that really need to be addressed. And I think this particular area is kind of low on the priority list. But we have creatures, animal creatures, going through down there. And of course, quickly, I post all the animals that go through there weekly with photographs. So I'm deleting and putting new animals on there, 50 or 60 animals a week, at least up to that, if not a little less sometimes. And it just seems like an area that needs to be looked at and maybe helped out and run better. And I know that you're in the process of hiring a new manager, and it's been very important to really get the person. It takes experience and know-how to run an animal shelter, from the front office back to where all the animals are. So I really wanted to pick somebody out that has the experience and can come in and do the right thing. And I'm not putting aspersions on it. This is a hard job. Mm-hmm. And I do think that people that have come in have not known. And so public's getting misinformation. They're getting angry about things because it's emotional too. Mm. So I really wanted to just say that, and if there's any comment that can be made, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Actually, I can tell you I've heard of these issues, and I know that several of the council members have heard of them because they've brought them to my attention. Sandra and Rick are actually actively engaged in looking at a lot of this. If we look historically at the budget, I will tell you that we have increased some funding to that area. A lot of it has gone to, I think we've created an additional animal control officer position, and then we made a significant number of capital improvements to some of the areas where we were literally having cabinets fall apart. To give you a sense, to just give you a little personal story, Michael Dane over here, who's our finance director, went and spent a day at the facility and really came back and said, you need to understand this and you need to see this. And so I think that's something that we do see from our staff, is that they may have nothing to do with it on a daily basis, but they're going to go out and look at it. We're aware of it. We're looking at it, and I know that there are some discussions that will occur with council, and council is talking to us about these issues.
My name is Loretta Calvert, and my husband's a business owner in San Angelo. We actually live between San Angelo and Wall. I have one quick question. I moved here in 11th grade and went to Central, and I moved here during a drought in the summer, and I was not happy about moving to San Angelo, and I drew my first bath to yellow water, and I think ever since then I've kind of been stuck here. And it's gotten better, and I love downtown. I love the river. That's my favorite, was my favorite place for a long time. Now it's Twin Buttes on my bass boat. But anyway, I'm also a nurse, and I'm really an activist, personal activist for water quality. I've been here 35 years, and I've seen a lot of water problems in Wall with Miller's View, dual water, and radium deteriorating our infrastructure out there like I know nobody could even imagine except maybe Will Wilde. My question is, how far up on the city's budget priorities is obtaining water quality, at least to pass the state standards, and keeping and water availability. Also keeping water here. I heard we have sold water rights outside of San Angelo. We see the lakes always down no matter how much rain we have, and we heard recently that's because we sold water rights to on down the river. So my big question is, how serious are we taking this water problem that we have in San Angelo? I looked up back when the water main broke, I looked up online and I saw the cost involved of renovating the infrastructure in this city, and I was flabbergasted. It was like the national budget right now. It was like, how are we ever going to do that? But my question is, how are we ever going to survive with all of these other wonderful things we're doing if we don't prioritize our water quality?
Okay. And your next question?
The other one was with the growth and prosperity of downtown San Angelo and future plans for more renovation, thus more business, could we put a city parking meter service to draw more city revenue? Is that done in any cities anymore? And if not, why not?
Okay. I'm going to start off with the water question. I'm going to let Will kind of move through this. From a priority level, I think if you can look at any one of the council members, they would absolutely tell you that that's the highest priority for them. And I would tell you, as I look at each one of them, there is not a week that goes by that I'm not talking about water with them. So that is the highest priority that they've given us. Will, do you want to kind of try to answer all of this?
The short answer or the long answer? The middle would be probably we're going to try to hit, because if you talk water quality, it starts when it falls from the sky. As you know, all of our water in San Angelo is a surface water supply, so once that water leaves that cloud and starts toward the ground, the quality of it starts to decline as it absorbs things in the air, as it hits the ground and runs off. So right away, we're faced with that challenge of removing those contaminants, naturally occurring contaminants from that water. San Angelo, in its treatment process, has a conventional water treatment type facility. In that, we remove the turbidity, the suspended particles in there, the dirt particles. We chlorinate it to remove any of the bacteria to make it safe to drink. But beyond that, our treatment plant cannot address anything as far as the salts in the water, sulfates in the water, which really give it that distinctive taste of West Texas water here. Whether it's San Angelo's water, Midland's water, Big Springs, any of the areas in West Texas have the same challenge that we do as far as water quality. The thing after that, though, even though we could treat it, if we had an RO treatment plant, we could give you this pure water as possible. But till a few years ago, once we pumped that water from the plant and put it in the distribution system, the water quality of that excellent water would have rapidly degraded because of the pipelines in the system. The 2-inch mains, the old galvanized mains, would severely deteriorate that quality, and not only not much would be delivered to the public, but the looks of it, the rust that was in it, was a major problem we were facing. To bring it full circle, though, the council said we need to come up with a plan on how do we look at all this. And the first thing they said was, let's go in, let's start replacing those pipes so we can get the water to the public, to at least so when they turn it on, they can fill a water jug in less than an hour's time. So that was the first party. Let's get the pipelines replaced. Let's improve our fire protection to the public while we're doing this so that we can maintain public safety. The next thing we're moving to now, and it's the next major phase, as Harold said, is the major priority right now is to look at long-term water supply. Where are we going to look to in the future? We know our local lakes experience these droughts on a very regular basis. 1974 was the last time Twin Buttes Reservoir was full. If you look at those cycles, we've missed the 18-year cycles that had been occurring. So we know climate change is on us. We can't look at the past and depend what we had planned for 50 years that these reservoirs are going to refill and that cycle is going to be repeated. As we know climate change is occurring. So we've got to look beyond surface water supply.